I'm going to incorporate that. And so these are 3 different ways that you can do that. And it's just fun, and students will get to use these in different ways. And there are different things that students like to earn, so they like to create them also. So for instance, we're going to start with looking at badges. So you can have your students create digital badges. And I know as an educator, I love getting badges when I complete courses. So students do also, because they feel like it's another little sticker they get in their back pocket. And so on here, you can have students create a badge based on standards, or like we did an entire digital citizenship unit within my homeroom class. And so if the students finished we used that Interworld with Google, like the game. So if they finished all the pieces of the game, then they got a digital badge at the end of it. But I let the students create these badges so that they feel more connected to it, and they feel like it's their work that they're doing. So on here, I linked a little template for you, and this is what the template's going to look like when you open it. So on here, I just tell them, hey, if you want your own file, you're going to make a copy of it. And then I give them all their directions off to the side. So they can add whatever text or images or anything that they want to within this circle. And then I'm able to save this as a PNG, and I can upload it to their Google Classrooms, or I'm going to show you how you can keep a badge record for all of your students. So they can see all the badges they've collected over time. So for instance, this one was for them to create a badge over the TEK 8.11b, which is about long-term and short-term environmental changes. So they would just insert things in here that represent that standard. It can be, they could put animals in there and grass picture, like however they wanted to represent this standard, they were able to. And the reason I like doing this so much is because students are having to break down these standards. They have to understand what are they actually supposed to be learning right now, and it shows what they know about that topic. So usually I do this like after they take their exam in class. We know that we always have students that finish early or don't take the entire time. So I give them this to work on after, and then all the students that mastered that TEK on the exam, then I give them this badge after. But I do it all digitally because we don't get colored printers at school, and now there's no option to even print these things out. Unless you want to, spend the money to send it to students and stuff, so it could just add up. But now you can actually have a digital badge keeper for all your badges that your students have earned throughout the year. So I talked about this flippity.net website when I did my Google Sheets presentation, and this is probably my most used add-on for Google Sheets. But let me show you what the Flippity website looks like. So Flippity is going to enhance your Google Sheets to become like games and flashcards and different things, so different interactives. So on here, there's flashcards that you can create, which is really great for your EL students, or really any students, like AP tests are coming up, they can create their own flashcards on here. And they do it all within a spreadsheet, so it's really easy to use. So Flippity has a badge tracker, and what you're able to do, I linked directly to the instructions on here, and it tells you exactly how to do it. It gives you a template, and you just insert your photos and your student names on here, and then it will keep a record of all the badges that those students have received. So here's a demo, and it will show you what it looks like on here. But for this fake class online, they have these badges up here. And then if you click on one of the students' names, you can see which ones they've earned. So it's kind of a fun way to add competition into your class to, earn as many badges as possible. And, it reminds me of, do you remember back in elementary school when we had those sticker charts, and every level you went on your reading, that's when you got your sticker. That's what it reminds me of, is just keeping a track of all the TEKs that students have mastered, or however you want to set it up for students to be encouraged to do well on their exams, or complete those digital citizenship, lessons and things like that. So it's a really fun way to do it. So on this presentation, I gave you the template. So this badge template is on here, and I always have them make it into a circle, so it's easy for me to save and then know what it's going to look like, and I don't have to worry about sizing and such. But that's on here, and I just put the directions off to the side. And students are pretty familiar with Google Draw if they've used Google Slides and Google Docs, because a lot of the toolbar is the same. So they can add shapes up here inside of the circle. They can insert images, so they can search the web or create their own. It's just fun for them to do. And like I said, I do this based on like TEKS or a lesson that we're doing within homeroom. But on here, you can kind of make it about whatever. You saw that fake class on Flippity had like no bullying. So if you did something about bullying, then all the kids could get a badge for bullying. But I like them to create the badges so that they feel that connection and are able to relate to that part of the badge. Okay, so moving on, next one. All right, I'm gonna go back. So now we're gonna talk about a Google Classroom header. So I know that we are on your Google Classroom, you can set your own theme or have an image as your header. But I heard this on a podcast one time and I thought it was the best idea ever. So you can have students create a customized banner for your classroom and then let the class vote over who gets to have the banner for the unit or for the week. But you're giving them that sense of connection, and they get to really have that community with each other when their work gets to be shown on the Google Classroom and everyone in their class gets to see it. So it's just something really fun for them. And they can, this is an example. So I also taught 8th grade science. So a lot of our science stuff is the same as Ardell's examples, but moon phases, for example. So on here, they had their moon phases going in order, and I know it's really small down here, but there's arrows showing which way the moon phases change. And then we had a song that we, sorry. We had a song that we sang in class, and it was like to the cha-cha slide. So it's like wax to the right, wane to the left. And then, we do all that stuff. So they put the song lyrics on the header to increase like how they learned plus the pictures. So it was a really fun way for them to incorporate things that they've learned and then get to showcase their creativity. And then from there, we just would vote on whoever had the best one, whoever they liked the most, and they got to be the classroom header during our time for that unit. So it's really fun for them. I also gave you a template for this one. So this is set up to be the exact size that you need it to for the header. So it's all set up on here for you, and I just had the directions above it. And then once you save this, I just save it as an image. So click File, and then download. And then I usually save them as PNGs. So just in case they don't have a background color, it makes the background transparent. So you don't have to worry about a weird white border and stuff. So that just makes it really nice and neat. And then once again up here, I just put what our week's topic was about. So this example was Newton's first law. This was like right when I left the classroom in the end of February going into March. So this is what we started working on, and this was gonna be their topic for their next Google Classroom header. So I would just change this out right here, and students could create the header based on whatever our topic was. So that was really fun to do. And sorry, I have not been checking the chat. So if you have, oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, all right. So
I'm mixing up with it and posting the sign.
All right, let me go back. So I just have one more to talk about, and I think this is my absolute favorite one because stickers are all the rage. So I don't know about y'all, but like Hydro Flask are everywhere. It's just one of those things where they love to use stickers to decorate, whether it's, the back of their Chromebook or their Hydro Flask, wherever. So this is similar to those badges that I talked about first, but if you tell a kid you're making a sticker, I think they just think it's the coolest thing ever. So on here, once again, I gave a template, but this is what the template is this time. I don't restrict them to a certain shape on here. They can do whatever shape they want it to be. It just has to fit within this red box. So I know that size constraints matter within our stickers. And once again, they're relating their sticker to whatever our topic is that we're over. So this one, once again, was moon phases, and they were able to create a sticker that they would want to have on their Hydro Flask or on their Chromebook. And what's really fun is when I was in the classroom, I would actually like print these out on just those like sticker pages, and then whoever was voted on for like the class sticker for that topic, I gave it to them so they could, you know, put it somewhere that they wanted to put it. And it was fun. It was pretty easy to just print out that one sticker. But since we don't have that option right now, what I created, and I think this could even be fun in the classroom, is I created like our own post to put all of our digital stickers. So if you click on that link, it will take you to a Google Draw, and I made it into like a bulletin board, and it has a Chromebook on it and a Hydro Flask, and we could actually add those digital stickers to it, and it's just our collection. But once again, it showcases the students' work. It's, you know, fun and interactive for them, and it's something that they really enjoy doing in real life. So if we can connect that to their lessons with school, they're way more likely to do them. So I find that to just make it a lot easier when it comes to getting them to do work when it's hard to get them to do work. So that's another one that I really like to do with my students. So that is the very quick overview of the 3 things to bring out your students' creativity with Google Draw. If you have questions about using Google Draw itself, I can go back in and like go through how you work Google Draw. But like I said, it is very similar to like Google Slides and like Google Docs. You're able to insert images. You can add shapes and colors. It's really, really fun for them. So I know a lot of people even have done like one-pagers on Google Draw. So this is kind of incorporating that into it. Oh, okay. So on Screencastify, that code I put in the chat, if you go into your account and act like you're signing up to like pay for it, then you put the code in on like your, like, you know, where you have like a reference or like a coupon code, and then it cuts the price down to 0. And that's till the end of May. So then you can record for longer than 5 minutes. But I keep most of my recordings under 5 minutes because students don't listen if it's longer than that.
Thanks, Ashley. I wasn't sure how the code still worked or if it still worked. I just never have used the premium.
Yeah, I mean, I just got it for this. And we found out at TCEA when we talked to them that I was the most used Screencastify user in GISD, and I did not have a premium account. So you do not have to have a premium account to make it work at all. Okay, so going over Google Draw real quick. So for options like this, I just inserted this shape in here, and then I made the lines bolder so that they knew within their workspace. So to do this, you have your toolbars up at the top, and on here I inserted a shape, and you have all your lovely shapes that you can put on here. And even some things like I didn't know, which, you know, other people may know this way more than I did, but whenever you're doing shapes like this and it has like a dip out or anything where it could move differently, there's like this little yellow triangle on here. And you can actually change the size of these different things or like point them. So like if you need someone to like talk in a quote and you need it to point directly to them, you can actually make that happen. So that's kind of fun to see on here. And then once I'm on this shape, I can change the background by clicking on the fill color. And my outline, I can click on my outline. These are the border weights for how big you want the lines around it. You can even take that away completely and just make it transparent where it doesn't have a border. Here's your choice. You can even do, and this is how I did my directions, I put a dashed border around it, so it's a little more fun. You have all your fonts, so once you have like a shape or you add a text box on here, you can, you know, type something into it and then change your font to whatever you want it to be. You have your shape, bold, highlight, all those things. You can also link things within here. So I don't know if y'all remember from like back, it was a couple years ago when it got really big, but ThingLink, I don't know if you remember that, but what it would do is it would take an image and then you were able to like link different things within the image. You can create that all on Google Draw for free. So you can just put an image on here and then link to whatever you need it to. So for instance, let me go to the digital sticker one because this one has just an open background. So if you want to change the background, it's very similar to how you would do it on a Google slide. So you're going to right click on the drawing space, the canvas, and then on here you can change it to a color and make this however you want the background to be. And you're even able to do like gradients, and you can like customize it so much on here more than you can on other things. And so it's just going to, so like on here, you're able to like change how you want the shadows to work, which I don't really know how to do all this stuff. I've never actually done it. But it's just like you can add different things in here and make the gradient change. Like some high tech stuff there. I don't know how to do any of that. But it's really fun, and it makes things look very creative and customized. So you have that option. You can also insert your images from here. So I know Ardell added the tiger key earlier, and that's just great. But you can search whatever images you want and put it as the background on here. Just insert it. And you can have that on here. I mean, there's tons of options. I even had students kind of create their own Bitmoji, since some of my students were under the age of 13 and they can't actually have Bitmoji legally. So on here, I'd have them like create people. So they would use different shapes, and they would, create their bodies and all that stuff on here. So it was just kind of fun for them to learn. And then we talked about how you can layer things like center back, so then they're on top of each other. But just little things, here and there on how to use it. And that's really all the tools I use on here, is just on the toolbar. I've never really even explored all these other things. I know that you can have like guidelines so that students can know where the center is, so they don't have to wait for that red line to pull up. Especially working on Chromebooks, that can be hard. But from here, the only other thing that I use is I download it, and then I usually download as a PNG. Like I said, I like to use PNGs because then that makes the background transparent. So if there's any, for instance, I'm going to make this background transparent again, and then insert an image on here. So what it means by that transparent background is it will save that. Any area where there's a checkbox on here, it will make it clear. Let me see if I can pull this up on here. So see how like there's a black background, and then anywhere that checkered box was, it became black. That's because it matches, or it's like see-through with your background. So if I had a white background on here, this would also be a white section because it's just going to be clear. So that's a good way to save it. All right. So going on from there, I was just going to let you know, well, this is now past, but I had some level boot camps coming up when I showed this to other people. My contact information is all on here. If you have questions that come up or anything, please email me, let me know, Twitter, Instagram, anything. And then I also have a feedback form on here. If you have a second to just click on this and let me know what I can do to improve. I'm currently, well, I actually submitted it yesterday, but I've been working on my Google Certified Trainer application. So that's one of the things that we work on with it, is just getting feedback. And then just letting you know, I got this slide deck from Slide Mania. They're awesome if you've never used them before, but they have really creative slide decks, so you don't have to make them all on your own. So the webinars will be on online once we are finished. We'll download this to YouTube, and then we'll send it to our digital learning team, and they'll get it uploaded. So usually about 24 hours, but if you send me an email, I can get you the link right after this to either of ours. How do you set the dimensions? Okay, so the only one that really matters for sizing is the Google Classroom one, and I Googled it. So I think it's like, hold on, let me see. I think it's 1600 pixels by 400. But if you're trying to make like a background or a header for Google Classroom or Google Forms or even Google Sites, if you Google the size of them, it'll show it to you. And then I can come in here under File and do Page Setup. Well, yes, Page Setup. And then this is where I'm able to do my customized size. So normally I put it in pixels because that's what Google will tell you the answers to. But yeah, this one's 1600 by 400. So then I just apply it, and that will create my canvas to be that size. But when I'm doing, when I created my badges and stickers, down here at the very bottom of your Google Draw canvas, you have this little 3-lined triangle, and you can actually like drag and make your canvas a different size. So are you going to specifically know the size when you do this? Not exactly. So that's why if you need it to be a specific size, I just Google what the dimensions are and then put it as the page setup on here. So like this one would be 3.13 by 3.1. But if you go to pixels, here's my pixel size. But this one I just created on my own. I didn't make it to fit anything since I'm just going to download it as a image. Oh, the Google Bootcamp webinars will not be on there because we are not able to broadcast our Google Bootcamp webinars.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we don't know why, but if you email me, I can send you the links to those that I did.
Yeah.
They're not the best, though. Go to people that know what they're doing. That was my first one ever.
Come along. So the last one was really good.
What?
I said our boot camps were really good.
Oh, yeah.
That was good. But I mean, yeah, I think because they don't want to, because they offer boot camp also. So I think that's part of that why.
Yeah, digital learning is way better. But yeah, if you do want to send me an email, I'll share the folder with you, and that has my recordings and my little scenario trainings that I gave people from North. But yeah, I'll stay on here for a little bit. If you have any questions, just let me know, pop in the chat or just unmute your mic and we can talk. But that is how I use Google Draw for students' creativity. So hopefully you got something out of that, and those templates are something you can use, especially coming to the end of the year. It would be really fun. I think if I still had students in my classes right now, I would love to do stickers over like, how are you surviving coronavirus? I think that would be really fun to see. Even if you teach seniors, I think this would be really cool to have seniors create a sticker for their class. And if it's something that is like amazing, I think we could even get it printed for the school. Like that would be so cool. But yeah, just different things. I think it could be so fun.
Yeah, I mean, the Google Draw is crazy. I didn't even know it did all that. So I learned a lot from your presentation. That's usually my game.
I just like to make schoolwork feel like it's not schoolwork. So.
Schoolwork is schoolwork.
I know, but that's how my classroom is. If you ask me my students, I'm like, let's do this instead.
No, so
hey, they passed their test in the past, so I did it okay.
Ours was easy. Anything we gave our kids when I was teaching was because I had the smart kids.
We did have different sign-ins. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, I'll copy and paste Ardell's. Oh, nope, that was wrong.
We're actually two different webinars, but we just
we just did them back to back to make it a little bit easier.
Oh
so this was from the very first one. Yes, and I'll put my contact information back up here. There you go. There's my email. Oh, yay. Okay, I think I got it. I just heard the notification. But yeah, thank y'all for being patient. If you didn't know, I just moved to this spot. So this has been a crazy change going from being in the classroom to a one-to-one coach during COVID.
You went to your campus for like a day or two?
I had 5 days. 5 days with my new staff before we went to spring break and then didn't know you could.
Well, you're rocking it. So, and I'm glad, I'm thankful for the co-teach type webinars, because I really do think this is my last one. I think we kind of have covered everything now. What is that we could possibly cover?
Well, I'm going to do Pear Deck next week, I think, about adding audio now. Right, my mom is texting me that, you can drive to Oklahoma and get your hair and nails done now. So she's probably going to want to do it this weekend.
Oh my God. Are you going?
We're also characters if you ever want to come hang out.
I'll be here in the house.
I know, I'm like, I'm not going. But I used to get my hair done in Oklahoma because, I lived there for 5 years. So I still go see my girl in Oklahoma because I love her.
Hysterical.
But, look at it. This is like brunette. I can't do this.
I thought you were blonde. No, I'm kidding. I just am not leaving the house. Well, I'm trying to eventually get to the point, because I don't get to see my grandson, not by her choice, but by my choice because of her asthma. So we're trying to get to the point where eventually we can't not see each other forever and ever. The Google webinars are in May, or did they already take place?
So the boot camps that are on the screen right now, I already did those. When I made this presentation like 2 weeks ago, and so when I first did all of this, I put those in there. I'm sorry they haven't, but if you email me, then I'll send you the folder with them in it. I can't promise they're the best. Like if Keegan's still on here, his are amazing.
His boot camps are?
Yeah, his boot camps are so good.
I haven't been to one of his. I need to go.
Well, I went to all of them before I did mine because I was like, what do I do? I mean, I've been to the one with, digital learning, but I'd never hosted one.
Oh no, yeah. I just enlisted our whole digital team. And so we all take a portion of something and teach it.
Yeah.
And so it just makes it easy, because then they get, I like this kind of forum where there's different presenters. My dog's outside and she's got a leaf in her mouth. Like she really is going to bring that in my house.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like this because it keeps it going, and different teaching styles keep it interesting. So
that is good, because when you have to hear me talk for an hour, it's not very fun.
I love your presentations. I don't know why you're down yourself, but your presentations are always good, and I always get something from it.
So Jennifer, sorry, I just posted the sign-in that goes with the Google Draw. So if you were just here for that, you can sign in here. I know this was our first time doing back-to-back webinars, so we're still learning how to do it all. I guess we can make one Google form next time and then just put which one you came to, or both, select all that you came to.
Yeah.
And then be able to share the data.
It's probably easier.
But thank you all so much for hanging with us and staying with us.
Yeah, we'll be here for a couple more seconds if you have any questions about either one. And I also added the information for what is your tweet?
Oh, tall tweets.
Tall tweets. I added that information in there too. That's a good idea for interactive lessons. I was just going to cover a couple, but that's a good one too.
Yeah, I've never actually used the Giphy website. I have the I have their extension up here, so I can pull their GIFs into things. So that's a really cool thing too. But I've always created my own. And also, if you're a MacBook user, they have an app within the Mac where you can create your own too. So you have tons of options when it comes to Giphy. They're pretty prominent around the GIF scene.
Oh wait, she said something about, I signed up on the first one and it says I already responded, as I've been here since almost the beginning, so I guess I'm good. Make sure, I was gonna
say, you're fine. I mean, if you listen this to Digital Learning and they can use CPE credit for it, but as long as you're on one, you'll be okay.
I just said sign up on Ashley's also. Sorry.
Whatever.
There, I said it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this recording so people don't think this presentation is super long. But I'm still here if you have questions. Let me know. I'm going to throw in a little plug also.